goes to the.
Yep, you're on.
So it's backwards from how I thought it was. So.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Were you all up too late last night, which is why everything's a little bit subdued? We'll begin our service on page 10 with Hine Matov. I'd like to invite up our two newly off the board members, Maddie Plumer and Vivian Morrison to come up and light the Shabbat candles.
Who else is there?
It's you and Maddie, the two of you.
Oh, there you are.
I knew it was me when you said that.
We are on pages 3 and 2.
These are, pick one of those.
Pick one of these, and then this, right?
Yes.
So which one do you want? Okay,
Do you want to start here?
yeah. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. There you go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav
v'tzivanu lahadlek ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you for your service on the board, and Mazel Tov. Hopefully some of you got the small song sheets on your way in. Erica, would you grab a handful of them, please? Thank you. We're going to sing song number 2. Lechuna Ranena.
La
pages 20 and 21. We greet Shabbat as a bride with Lecha Dodi. How wonderful to greet Shabbat as a bride and also welcome in our honoree this evening, Joan, who is celebrating her upcoming birthday. You may be seated. It's always fun to see who will walk in as a Sabbath bride. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 26. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabba Be'alma divrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon Uvchayedecho Beit Yisrael Ba'gala ba'gala Uvizman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam olal me'al maya yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam ve'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudesha brichu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran Be'alma Ve'yimeru. Amen. Baruch Hu is on page 28. Please rise and bow to your spirit. This weekend being the unofficial beginning of summer, we'll join together in the middle of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. On page 33. Together, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Please be seated. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinantam
ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet.
On this Shabbat leading up to Memorial Day, we will offer the words on page 41 and then go into Micha Mocha with a tune we don't typically use for Micha Mocha, but you should recognize it. Okay? Let's join together. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We continue with Hashkivenu, which should be on your little sheets as well. I think it's song 4. Can someone confirm that for me? Is it in fact song 4?
Bye.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. And we remember that with the words of Vishamru, page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue with the Amidah, page 46. Please rise in body or spirit.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agitei latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geulah Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rav leHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berah. rachamim rabim, somech noflim verofech cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, mishenei afar, michamocha bal gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, vene'emanata lechayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yehallelujah selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We continue with our private prayers. When you finish with your prayers, you may be seated.
page 61. We don't often read this one, but this is one of the classic prayers for peace from Gates of Prayer, if anyone remembers that prayer book. Feels very appropriate for us on this Shabbat. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. We turn to the words of the Mishaberach on page 253, and I invite anyone who is thinking of someone who is in need of healing of body, of mind, of spirit, to share their names with us at this time.
The people of Israel, the people of Gaza, and our unhoused neighbors.
All those we hold in our hearts.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say bless those in need of healing with refuge the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us sing.
In addition to taking time to think of those in need of healing and wholeness, we take time to think of the blessings and miracles of the past week. If there's anything you would like to share, I invite you to share. Raise your hand.
We had a very successful congregational meeting last night that only took 2.5 hours.
In which we elected 5 new board members and passed bylaws changes, which makes it a really exciting new pathways to membership for people who are in the conversion process to Judaism. Yay!
After being without a job for quite a while now, I just said, oh, please God, just give me something. And today I got 2 job offers for 2 different jobs, so now I get to choose.
I picked up another book, To Pray as a Jew by Haim Halevi Donin. Sorry, my prayer sheet was covering half of that. So thank you for all those that donated books to the congregation.
Well, it's not this past week, but coming up in just 2 days, there's a big birthday. Right, Joan? You're turning 87, correct? Yes? He says yes. Great. So I will offer you a blessing where you are. The number 87 in Hebrew is spelled paz, pei zayin. Paz means gold. It's another word for gold. And I hope that this year that you have completed, and also the year that you are coming up to, is one that is filled with the sweetness and shininess and beauty of gold, like the gold that's sparkling from your glasses and from your eyes, and that everyone around you is able to see the gold that you have given throughout your life and continue to bring to our world. So I'll offer Yivarechecha. Nope, it's not coming at all. Thank you. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom, shalom, yasem lecha shalom, shalom, ve'yasem lecha shalom. You can all join in too. Shalom, shalom, yasem lecha shalom, shalom, ve'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and protect you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. May God's presence be lifted up to you, and may God grant you wholeness, contentment, and joy, and most of all, peace. As together we say, Amen. Siman tov u'mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov u'mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov u'mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Yehei lanu, yehei lanu, yehei lanu, u'lecho Yisrael. 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 Mazel tov. B'vakasha. So hopefully you all recognized the song America, My Country 'Tis of Thee, that we did for Mi Chamocha. And I was trying to think of a song to end with that would reflect both the fact that this weekend is Memorial Day weekend and also what this week's Torah portion is, which is Bahar, which includes proclaiming liberty throughout the land, which, by the way, is what is written on the Liberty Bell. Comes from this week's Torah portion. So, Parshat Bahar is, so that's where America came from, because if you remember the actual words, or at least the American version of the actual words, because also if you remember, it's God Save the King/Queen, which does not include Let Freedom Ring. But that is the last line of the first verse of the American version. The Parsha, Bahar, I talked a little bit more about Bechukotai, the next week's Torah portion last night, but Bahar really focuses on the idea that we actually do not own the land that we live on. Even if you technically own property, you have bought property, the Torah tells us that we do not own it. Who does? For those of you online who did not hear Howard's snarky comment, he said the state. Okay, but the Torah does not say that the state owns our land. Who does the Torah say owns our land? God, yes, Adonai, God. God is the one who sort of owns the land, and we are but tenants on it, such that we have to follow God's rules and how we treat the land. And that includes two major sets of rules that are in this week's Torah portion. One, that every 7th year is supposed to be a sabbatical year for the land. It's called Shemitah. So what's supposed to happen during the Shemitah year? What's supposed to happen during that sabbatical year? Right, so the land lies fallow. You can gather what it produces by itself and only enough for what you need that day, but you're not supposed to work the land, right? It's supposed to get a rest. It's supposed to get Shabbat, right? Sabbatical comes from the word Sabbath, Shabbat, right? Not in Hebrew, but the Hebrew, you get plenty of times where it tells you to give the land a Shabbat. So you're not supposed to work the land. The land is going to produce for you, and the idea is actually that if you maintain this practice of letting the land lie fallow every 7th year, where you might be inclined to say, but what will we eat, right? Because if you've got enough food from the 6th year, you might have enough to last you through the 7th year, but definitely not into the 1st year of the new cycle, the 8th year, where you will not have harvested anything substantial for a full year, and you won't yet have the next year's harvest. So what are you going to do for food? And the Torah says God will make sure that in the 6th year there is enough to last essentially for 2 years. But even that's not enough, because after a Shabbat of Shabbat years, right? So how many years is that? After 7 times 7, 49. So after the 49th year, there's supposed to be the Yovel, the Jubilee year. And that's where we're supposed to proclaim liberty throughout the land. That Jubilee year is not just a year when the land lies fallow, but also a year when people return to their ancestral holdings, which is interesting because it suggests that there is an ancestral holding, which goes back to the biblical understanding that the land of Israel was divided up amongst the tribes, and each family amongst the tribes got a particular portion of that land. And so no matter where you moved in the promised land in that 50th year, you had to go back to your original home. And if you happened to purchase land somewhere else, then the person who goes back there does have to buy it back from you, just as you would have to buy it back from the person you sold your land to, because you're buying, this is a really fascinating line, you're buying harvests. You're not buying the land, you're buying the productivity of the land. And so there's like a whole calculation about like how many years till the next Jubilee since you purchased the land, because you know you're gonna have to give it back at the Jubilee, which is not 50 years from when you bought it, but every 50th year. And so not only does the land go back to the ancestral owners, but anyone who has been enslaved, potentially indentured, but mostly actually we're talking about people who have become bond slaves for their lifespan. It actually doesn't last a full lifespan, because in the 50th year, proclaim liberty throughout the land, and everyone goes free. And the idea ultimately is that through this reshifting of property, of land, of even self-ownership, agency, and food, that there's like an economic and social reset, right? Everyone, once again, starts on an even playing field. There's a recognition that, in Torah, there's a recognition that there is economic injustice in the world. There are all sorts of things done to try to mitigate that, from leaving the corners of the fields unharvested to requirements for donations and so on. And yet, it's very clear from the Torah that there's an understanding that even with all of these laws, economic injustice still takes place. And that sometimes we need some sort of reset button. Because what ends up happening is that people in poverty, if there's no reset, end up continuing to spiral down. It's very hard to work your way out of poverty. I saw something that on Facebook today. It's something that's come up periodically, but it was particularly poignant today because it said that if you take the term working poor, that is in fact the problem, right? And I was talking about this the other day, that sometimes people reach a certain level of income because we're trying to pay them more fairly, but in increasing their income, they lose the social support benefits, and then it actually doesn't help them. It makes things worse for them to pay them more, because our economic system supports that injustice. The Torah's rules about economic justice, if they were ever applied, if they were ever applied, they were never applied well, and economic injustice definitely still existed. We know that because actually the rabbis come in later and say, this isn't working. We have to come up with a plan to make the intent of the laws work, even though because the actual laws are not. And when we think about liberty and freedom, when we are struggling to survive, when people are struggling to survive, to make ends meet, to just get through to the next day, that is not freedom. That is not liberty. And that is not what we hope for in this country that is so built on the promise of success, the American dream, right? It's baked into our sense of who we are that we can find economic sustainability and the freedom from the strife that comes with poverty. And we need in so much in our day today to help bring that about once again. Shabbat Shalom. Vivian? Okay. As your final duty as a board member.
Well, I was still a member when I signed up. So. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Announcements.
Okay, but speak into the microphone.
Okay. It's only a few, so it's not too long. The sisterhood needs some industrial sewing machines. They need the use of one or more sewing machines for sisterhoods, food banks, shopping bags project. To donate or use your machine, please contact Maddie Plummer. The Sisterhood annual meeting and spring schmooze is this coming Tuesday, May 28th, 6:30 to 8:30. Please join us for the annual meeting where we will elect our new board, celebrate our accomplishments from the past year, and start planning the next year immediately after the meeting. There will be a social, the spring schmooze. The theme is beach energy, and we hope you will come in your beach-inspired clothes. Don't forget to bring a folder camp chair if you have one. Abundant appetizers and cocktails will be served. Non-members are welcome to attend. For questions, contact the Sisterhood at tbetacoma.org. The Jewish Book Club is Tuesday, June 4th at 11 o'clock. Please join us in the meeting room next to the sanctuary as we discuss Lady Dogs by Helen Schulmer. Do you like to read good books about Jewish subjects or by Jewish authors? Join the book club on the first Tuesday of each month. Please contact Carol Umbahacker at 253-719. Contact Carol. Open House and Ice Cream Social, Sunday, June 9th at 1 p.m. You are cordially invited to join us for an exciting and delicious religious education program, Open House and Ice Cream Social, held at Temple Beth. Discover the warmth of our community and the richness of our traditions as we explore our vibrant synagogue. During the open house, you will have a chance to meet our clergy, staff, and other members of the congregation, ask questions, tour our beautiful learning spaces, and learn about our engaging programs from preschool through 8th grade. Experience a taste of our welcoming community, and the ice cream isn't bad either. Please RSVP. Maddie at tbetacoma.org. That's Maddie Pimentel Diaz. Thank you. That is all.
Thank you to Vivian for the announcements, to Aaron Peterson on tech, Debbie, of course, the Garden family for sponsoring the ONEG this evening, and Stacy for helping to clean up. And what? Oh, and Eileen. Sorry, those words were not separating well for me. And Eileen for helping to clean up, and Vivian also for setting up the ONEG. And there was one more that I had in my head. Oh, Greg for greeting. Thank you. We continue with the counting of the Omer on page 278. We're moving through. We like our sevens, right? So what are we counting with the Omer? We are counting a week of weeks. So rather than a week of years, we have a week of weeks. So 49 days, and I will let you know what we're at if you haven't been keeping count. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer hayom 32 yom shehem 4 shavuot ו4 yamim laomer. Today is the 32nd day, which is 4 weeks and 4 days of the Omer. And Aleinu, page 282, please rise in body or spirit. And Sammy Spider has joined us in the ark. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שם לנו כמשפחות האדם, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Our thoughts turn to those who have died in recent days and weeks. We're especially thinking of Olivia Walter, friend of Haley Joy. And we think of those who have died at this time in years past, whose memories continue to be a blessing. If I say the name of someone you're thinking of, I invite you to rise so that we can acknowledge you as a mourner. We think of Rabbi Joseph Asher, Leo Becker, Edward Brasham, Lorraine Braverman, Pearl Brotman, Manawa Comes Last, Burton Dorfman, Philip Dryan, Gertie Dryan, Betty Friedman, Bertie Gantz, Roy Goldberg, Leonard Goldsmith, Charlotte Goldstein, Hazel Henderson, Marcy Horwitz, Rosa Jankelevich, Justin Karen, Adolph I. Katz, Patricia Keski, Leo Leonard, William Michelman, Harry L. Nemitz, Paul Newman, Bernard Utkin, Anna Reineman, Morris Rosen, Edward Selden, Annette Sheeler, Minnie Smiley, Yetta Hannah Sussman, Matthew Terry, Sidney Thal, Meyer Volk, Alan E. Warnick, Janice Willinger, Marshall Yovitz, and Leah Ziskina. As we think of them, we say Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing. We rise to join our mourners so that no mourner has to stand alone. The words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, be'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudusha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehe shlama Rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say, amen. You may be seated. Our closing song is on page 341, at the bottom of the page. This one isn't on the page, but you can still sing it. Shalom, shalom. Lo yisan goy el goy herem, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisan goy el goy herem, lo yilmedu od milchama. C sharp minor. Oh, shalom, B shalom, shalom, shalom. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama. You sing shalom. Yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Kiddush is on page 5. Yuval, would you like to come up for some juice? Please rise in body or spirit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron מעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ בתיאבון. שבת שלום.